right now.
What's going on, everybody? This is the Shui with P&J. I am Mr. J James, and this is Pratik. And today we're talking to Mr. Joe Greco over in where are you at today?
I'm in Northern Ontario.
We're in Ontario, in the great city of Sudbury, Ontario. We are wanting to talk about Bitcoin, and so I asked a few of my friends who knows Bitcoin, and Joe was one of the people that ended up branching out, and I ended up reaching out to him, and he has been trading for, you said, 3 to 4 months?
Yeah, about that. Yeah, I started back around end of April.
Okay.
And then for a month, I'd end up stopping like around the summer because there was the hard fork I was concerned about. And then after that, I got back into it. So,
awesome. Yeah. How much did you start out with?
like how much I originally put in when I started?
Like what was the original, like just how much did you decide to sort of touch the market with?
When the very first amount that I put in was $100 when I like first started.
Really? That's cool.
And that was for a short time, and then like anyways, like a couple weeks later I had basically $1,000, and that was that I didn't add anymore after the $1,000, and I went from there.
Nice. So you've been working on that entire amount the entire time, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what were you about to say, Pratik?
And you had spoken before. You're getting ready to go to a is it conference? Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate a little bit on that? Actually, I'm actually really curious about that.
So there's BitCon in Los Angeles, and basically it's a Bitcoin conference. So basically they talk about like important events that are going on in the cryptocurrency community. They talk about like future developments, different things. You could connect and meet with other people. Yeah, there's from like business people to developers to probably just regular everyday people like myself, just trying to learn. I'm actually specifically going there for a trading seminar by from a prominent trader in the space. Yeah, so that's why I'm going there. But there's
who's the trader?
Who is it? Who's the trader? I was gonna say.
Yeah, so his name is Tonebase, and I definitely recommend checking out if there's a trader you want to follow. It's I would recommend him. It's Tone, like Tone, and then Vays, Vays. But yeah, he does a fairly good job at analyzing the markets and all that. So I figured who better to learn from than a guy who has been doing very well with the technical analysis of Bitcoin.
Yeah, you were talking about the other day, I think it was last night, you were saying that he has done other types of stuff in stock markets and other, like Bear Stearns, you said?
Yeah, he's worked at Bear Stearns, JP Morgan. I'm pretty sure if I'm not mistaken, he's worked on Wall Street, so as a trader. So yeah.
And this is not like a small training course, you said. This is something like a 10-hour conference to where you're going to be dumbing down the entire time and learning like the in-skill technical analysis stuff, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. So I'm pretty excited. So I like I'm fairly new. I've never traded in my life before. I mean, I've a few months leading up to it, just by chance. I mean, I was just like randomly just like looking at stocks, kind of just looking at just general trends, not really doing any technical analysis, just kind of looking at the charts. And yeah, just kind of like reading news and stuff, and just kind of reading about some companies, but nothing, no investing. And yeah, but aside from that, like I've never traded in my life, so basically just trying to go, and I've spent a lot of time just trying to learn about technical analysis and just even like fundamental analysis as well. But yeah, just trying to improve my knowledge.
About, like you were saying something before we hit the record about faith-based trading, and so you said a lot of people are based on faith-based. Why is that so hard to say? Faith-based trading. Yeah.
Yeah. So I do think that a lot of people are in a sense faith-based trading because I don't think majority of the people that are trading it fully understand what exactly Bitcoin is. So yeah, like I mean, it's probably like me. Like I get the general idea of what exactly Bitcoin is. It's maybe just like the more exactly how it works and understanding exactly how it works to like more confidently believe in the system.
It's kind of like the idea of internet gold, essentially trading like a byte of like you have these things called Bitcoin farms where you can actually mine the coin, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've had any experience meeting anyone who's actually trying to mine it or anything, but from what I've read and what I've studied, at least, there's different ways to buy it. Obviously, you can go through something like Coinbase or BitPay and
Yep,
buy some, or go to like the trading platform like GDX, I think GDAX.com.
Yeah.
And I mean, but I get the idea it was created by a master programmer back in 2008 or 9, I believe, Satoshi Nakamoto, like you had mentioned earlier before before we started airing. He created a white paper essentially detailing why he created what he created. After the collapse in 2009 of mortgage-backed securities, I feel like he thought that there might be a better way to have money flowing, but it's only a controlled amount. So, you know, money doesn't get printed, and there's no like the idea of like you're printing your way out of like debt, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So if there's a finite amount of money, then there's only so much that can be made. But each coin itself can be worth thousands of US dollars. Sorry. What's your and do you trade on Coinbase or BitPay, or how do you purchase your
So
Bitcoin?
there's two types of exchanges. One, like there might be some that are both, but for me, like my experience is basically how I've used it. There's exchanges literally to like it's kind of like your on and off ramp, your way to buy and sell Bitcoin. So it's the only place to actually like liquidate or get into it. Which I'm Canadian and I use Quadriga.
Okay.
Yeah, quadrigacx.com is the website, and so that's where I buy and sell it. I also know a person where I also can buy it from as well, but mainly for most people, it's going to be from an exchange like Quadriga, and then from there, there's the trading exchanges. Like there's Poloniex, there's a Bittrex, Bitfinex. Like there's a bunch of them. There's a Shapeshift for, as they call them, altcoins. All other cryptocurrencies that aren't Bitcoin are considered altcoins. So yeah.
Have you invested in any of the alternative coins like Litecoin or Ethereum?
Yeah. I have. Well, it'd be more so trading them.
Okay.
Yeah, because like sometimes I'll hold them for short periods and not kind of buy and sell them multiple times throughout the day or whatever. But yeah, if things are going good and I'll just hold on to them for a bit and then sell high. So
right, just like a stock.
Well, what's funny? Yeah, absolutely. Buy low, sell high. Yeah. The market fluctuates so much; it's very volatile. There's no. I mean, the after-hour trading is just trading itself. Recently, when China banned the trading of ICOs, or basically it's a way of like funding a company, but through essentially you buy a coin, and the funding instead of getting shares, you get like tokens back with each time you donate like a certain amount of Bitcoin or Ether coins. It really dropped the price. I think it was called Black Monday. I think 2 weeks ago, maybe. Um, how do you think? Do you feel like that people are fairly invested in Bitcoin, or I know that that whole idea of like hold it, hold it, hold it until it in
Basically the hold until you die.
yeah, hold it until you
mentality.
die movement. Yeah,
So, basically, you're asking about like the what impact I think the China ICO and exchange bans has.
correct. Hmm.
Okay. So basically, from my understanding and from what everything that was said, I'm pretty sure the ban, which was stated, is that the ban is actually just temporary. They just wanted to go and kind of have a pause and be able to create regulation, which I mean, I see it. It does have its pros and cons, but it does have its pros and cons. But I see it as a good thing because, from what I was hearing, like there's a lot more scammy and shady stuff going on there in regards to like ICOs. Um, so they really want to control, kind of just scam ICOs. Yeah, so they just really want to protect their people. But I know this also stopped a lot of capital coming in or out to the markets, which concerns people. So yeah, with all that news, like there was a price correction, then there was the ban of ICOs, and then the ban of exchanges. So that really hurt the price. But I think this is just like short term effects, because even if long term Bitcoin exchanges were banned, that they would just create like decentralized exchanges. So I'm sure people can still somehow on the dark web or go and trade Bitcoin. Still, it's just more difficult. You have to conceal it, because even like things like they've banned Facebook, Google, YouTube, they like Chinese can still access it. It's just they have to use a VPN or some other means to get around. But long term, I definitely see it as a good thing because it just forces more innovation from like the Bitcoin developers and all that to, or even just like developers in general, just to create decentralized exchanges.
So
that makes sense.
Are you saying like along the lines of like DNS? I know that DNS servers were trying to use some type of Bitcoin technology to register domains nowadays. Have you heard about this or?
No, explain.
No. Okay. No, so you have like GoDaddy. So rather than having GoDaddy have all that information and then they have to register with ICANN, whatever it is, jamestolf.com, they would register, it would be a blockchain technology to where anybody that is registering domains would have that. And that would be the underlying, like it's the idea of a ledger, everybody that operates domain names will have the ledger and, or the blockchain technology or the hash. And that's what they would use it for. Rather than using it for currency, they'd use it for information to find out who registered what domain. And nobody's I just read some random thing on the internet, and so I was the one. That was the only guy, huh? Fine. What?
I was just gonna say. So basically, just using like the blockchain to secure data and records.
Record keeping, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think that's a really cool concept of the blockchain, and I think that'll definitely be an awesome business. Which I know there's an altcoin called Factum, which that's their business. I'm not entirely sure if they have a working product. I think they might. I'm gonna be looking into that in the very near future. But basically, their entire thing is literally putting all records that they can into the blockchain using
Yeah. I mean, some people. I think. Have you ever met Eric Grill?
Well, yeah, I've met him online. Yeah.
Okay.
I've talked to him
like
for
we're in kind of a lot of the same communities. Just that one online community. But he was telling me that somebody got married on a blockchain because, like you said, it was a record keeping thing, or like you're just transferring
Yeah.
information.
Yeah,
A
But how does
marriage
that work?
blockchain.
well, they solidified that they got married on the blockchain. So um, I'm I'm pretty sure you could fit in some information with with the transaction or whatever somehow. I don't know exactly, but basically
Yeah.
it's just like solidifying information into the blockchain. And yeah, within the past probably 8 months, I think like the first people to solidify and have their marriage put into the blockchain happened. So
It's kind of crazy. I mean, just imagine if you had that at a country level, because there's these, somebody might try to get married in another country and you would never know, because
yeah.
there's not a lot of record sharing. But if there was like a universal marriage blockchain, then everybody would know who got married. You'd never be able to jip out on full support ever.
Easily legitimize marriage to the point where you could just get people to get American citizenship within like months, right? I mean, if you could marry,
for record keeping, and that would be interesting.
I imagine
Lord
that would
knows,
be
it might be able to get that
harrowing.
H-1B visa that so many people are trying to get.
I imagine a huge run-in with H-1B problems. All these like fail-safe marriages. You could advertise that as a business, actually.
Blockchain, get married on a blockchain.
Blockchain, yeah. The start of
Blockchain
life.
marriages.
Well, how about blockchain dating? That'd be great. I mean, I've heard about working the block, but that's a little bit too much for me.
There's possibilities for anything, really. I'm actually more. I've actually been more interested in the cryptocurrencies, like the altcoins. Actually,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have been talking about Ethereum being like the next big player in the cryptocurrency market. Like, what's your experience trading altcoins?
Well, I would say
Previously.
that Ethereum is already a big player. Yeah, it's already a big player in cryptocurrencies. Like they're the second biggest cryptocurrency, and even then, like Ethereum, if Ethereum really doesn't do well, it's starting to have a bit of an effect like Bitcoin does, where they're basically like one and two, the main drivers of telling how well the crypto community is doing. So like if those start to dip a fair amount, they'll affect all the other altcoins, because those are the two main ones. It's more so Bitcoin because it's the biggest, most well-known
it's like the gold
Bitcoin
standard or something.
or cryptocurrency. But yeah.
Well, there's been a lot of talk about Litecoin too. I've been reading a little bit about it. It's been out for about 6 years. I know the idea was like it's like the silver to Bitcoin's gold. That being a future.
People just have enough trust in it, and enough community have gotten behind it that's the only reason that it has any type of pull that it does. I think it's just because the people behind it. Kind of like, isn't it the same idea with Ethereum? Because again, I'm not in this market. I don't know. I read stuff, and that's essentially why I wanted to have this conversation. But Ethereum, if I'm not mistaken, it's using a different type of hardware to process the transaction, the hash rate, right?
Yeah. So like with Bitcoin, it's pretty much like specialized miners that you could use for mining Bitcoin. Yeah, so you have to use specialized miners to mine Bitcoin, but with Ethereum, I'm pretty sure it's script mining, so you could use your just graphics cards. So that's why a whole lot of graphics card for Ethereum and many other coins.
So essentially, you could buy tons of graphic cards, mine Ethereum, and when that technology is gone, you could end up selling your graphics card. Maybe not at what you bought it for, but you can still get some of your money back. Unlike Bitcoin hardware, which is just for Bitcoin.
Well, the funny thing is like sometimes the mining can be so hard on the cards that literally people will try and do is like they'll just run their cards into the ground before the warranty goes up, so they can go mine.
Right.
They'll burn out their cards, and they'll be like, "Hey, it's under warranty." They'll send it in, and they'll get a new one.
It's like that guy that goes and buys like a DSLR from Walmart and it has a 14-day warranty, takes all the pictures he needs to take, and then takes it back with the receipt type thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait, you've done that before?
I've never done that. Ever. I own my DSLR, all of them.
That's way, but that's like way too specific a situation.
I'm just saying, you know, that might have happened in Martinez, Georgia at 30907 on Washington Road.
We gotta look into this now. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, customer's always right.
Well, I think the real for these cryptocurrencies to really take off, it's going to have to be traded on. People are going to have to start using it in business. I mean, the idea of it, like if Amazon adopts, there was a rumor that Amazon may adopt it in the next couple of months.
Yeah, I think that's just 100% a rumor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
especially since like I read like the I guess like the letter or whatever, and even like the language on it was just like, this would, I would say that it's not from any credible source, just someone, it seems like even some fake news still ends up being good news for the price of Bitcoin, because it just generates hype, which there is a fair amount of hype in Bitcoin, obviously, as anyone who's in it knows. So, yeah.
You were talking about like they had originally went with the Bitcoin, they had created something called a white paper, and this is very much a standard thing within cryptocurrency now.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
do you read white papers or as a trader or no?
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so this is the thing.
I think if you're not, you might not want to invest.
That brings up another question: is what are you looking for in a white paper?
So for the white paper, there's a few things that you want to look for, like how the cryptocurrency is set up. Like there's things like proof of stake, proof of work. There's also like supply cap, what its purpose is, like their end goal, see what they're about, check out the team. It's basically.
So when they say what we're about, what are you? There's what I'm trying to figure out, because a lot of people have a different opinion on which each currency should be used for.
Oh, so like what they're about is like so basically there have been cryptocurrencies created for a variety of different things, from like creating services where you have to use their cryptocurrency to pay for the services, from like others just being general wide use currencies, like Bitcoin's plan is. There's other ones like Ethereum, which is made for other platforms to be built on top of it, or to have, as they say, smart contracts. So yeah, there's stuff like that. I'm just trying to think. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of different things. Like even some now, like one I really like is 10x, and it's literally a cryptocurrency debit card. So that's really interesting. So it's in the process of increasing cryptocurrency liquidity.
It was interesting because like all I know is exchanging my money to somebody else, and then as we said before, changing records from one check record to another place. So I was like, besides that, what are you really gonna do with it? And so I was wondering, like, what would be your perspective on that? So yeah, you pretty much answered it.
Oh, okay, yeah. So like literally what like 90% of people in Bitcoin, like or even cryptocurrencies, they're just traders or bag holders, as they call them, like people who just buy and hold right now. And I mean, I can't really blame them because, like, I mean, if it's actually going and becomes what it says, it'll be worth way more. So it would be stupid in a sense to spend it if the potential to um, if it's potentially worth so much more, it just hasn't reached that level yet. So it still has a long ways to go. Like right now, the technology for Bitcoin, it isn't suitable for to be used as a currency. So they're working on that to improve like how many transactions it can handle, but
Yeah.
it still has a long ways to go in development and improving that. So right now, its best use cases are as a store of value and as what do you call it? Oh, as a way to transfer that money. It's money transfer as well because you can send it anywhere in the world, and it's the easiest and quickest way to do it. So,
Do you see people like, did you come in just did you time the market right, or do you see people coming in now and still making gains still?
I definitely see you could still make gains in the future. I would say like, I mean, I don't know how long things will go for. I mean, I definitely think it'll end like a big bubble popping, as they say.
Okay.
So I don't think we're there yet. Like I still think there's like it still has a lot of growth to go, but I still don't know when exactly that date will be.
No, I
Or
was
like
just wondering if someone like a beginner like me or somebody listening to this and says, "Hey, that sounds like a great idea. I have $1,000. What do I do?" Like, do you have any like good resources for those people to go to, or?
I mean, if they really want to go and actually, I mean, if they didn't really know much, I mean, I would the first thing I recommend if they did is almost just buying and holding Bitcoin. I mean, that would probably be the safest, the smartest thing to do for them is literally just buying and holding.
And then just reading blogs. Do you have any certain blogs that you're sitting there saying, "Oh my God, if I was to first start out again, I definitely need people to be reading this, or I would definitely be reading this."
Right, right. Um, it's interesting. For starting off, I mean, I was kind of lucky that I knew some people who were already trading and into it. So I mean, I got some, I'd say, good feedback from them. Is while I was going, there's a place called CoinMarketCap.com.
CoinMarketCap.com.
Yeah, and basically it just gives you um, a list of all the cryptocurrencies or digital currencies that you could trade. Um, for anyone who actually gets like fairly into it, still only recommend mainly sticking to like the top 100. I mean, there might be the couple here and there that you could find that may be interesting to invest to, but you still, even in your top 50, you still have plenty of great options to choose and trade from. So, but for learning about it, I definitely recommend checking out CoinMarketCap. Just you can go click on names of the cryptocurrency. They have links to like websites so you can read up about them. I would also go and what I did was I created a separate Twitter account and I literally followed like the cryptocurrencies main Twitter accounts. I've followed like the main people, developers, business people, traders. So I think that's like definitely key to get like a good understanding of like what's going on in the markets. Like you could keep up with news, you could keep up with yeah, well the news covers a lot, but basically like developments. Some people like kind of like message about like trading, saying like, oh, like check this coin out or whatever, or hey, this chart looks good to get in now. yeah, it's a great way to stay updated and like everything Bitcoin. I think it's probably the main platform is Twitter for keeping up to date. What I frequently do is I check Twitter, I Google, and see what news I can find from there, and then also a little bit of Telegram as well. But I basically just try in a bunch of sources, just reading up. I check websites as well. They have, they've. That's where you get a lot of good information too about what the project
just absorb
is.
the blogosphere of everything Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's the cryptoverse.
Cryptoverse, nice. That's about 30 minutes there. Pratik, did you want to set it in place for the night?
Yeah, absolutely. I was gonna ask, maybe we could follow up with you after your conference.
Oh yeah.
And, when is that again?
It's October 12th.
October 12th. Okay. Yeah, we'd love to check back in with you, Joe. Maybe you can give us a couple more pointers of some stuff you learned from the conference.
Yeah.
We're kind of more of like a free form back and forth, and so yeah, there was no real structure, but we were just kind of like things that were on our mind. I was like, well, I know one person we can talk to, so yeah.
Yeah. I mean, definitely, it is a conference for kind of the basics and everything for like beginners. So and yeah, so I figured from a reputable source who has definitely he definitely has a proven track record based off his YouTube videos and his Twitter account from keeping people updated on what's going on with prices and good times to buy or whatever. So I definitely recommend checking him out, and you could learn a fair amount even from trading just by
following his videos.
Page. Yeah, just watching his videos. I'm in the process of watching them all.
So one more time, what was it? Just so I'm ready now.
So it's a Tone Vase.
ATON.
TONE.
TON. Oh, tone. Oh, tone. Okay.
Yeah, tone like music, like a tone, or
Vase. BAYS.
I'll check him out. Yeah.
Cool.
He used to be a DJ, which that was his name apparently, and I guess he needed a name, so he just resorted
to what you know.
So.
Nice.
But yeah.
All right. Well, me and Tolf have to go finish up, and we gotta go rent some DSLR cameras and then return.
Right. Well, thank you for having me. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Cool.
No, love talking to you again, man. I really appreciate your time. Thanks again. We're gonna wrap this episode up, and
awesome.
hopefully get in touch with Joe after he hopefully doesn't become too rich that he ignores us.
Yeah, totally.
I doubt that would ever happen, but yeah.
Tell us your trade secrets, sir. Thank you. Thanks.
Awesome. Well, this is the Shui with P&J.
Yeah. Or is it P&J and the Shui? I guess.
The Shui with P&J. I don't know. I can be at the end. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Thank you for.
Just kidding.
Thank you, everyone.
You're done.
Yeah. You have a good day, guys. Thank you.